Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Aquarian Mind Podcast. Today's podcast, episode number 305. I'm your host, Jamel Crothers. It's Wednesday Motivation Inspiration. You guys know what time it is. Today, we're talking about your battery and motor have to push you. Yeah, this is a good one today, right? I know you're rubbing your hands together right now like, oh, he's coming with something today. All right, so let's jump into it. Now, the energy that you put into your goals and dreams is imperative. And your battery has to be fully charged and your motor has to push you through the good and bad days. Because the reality of it is the good days are great. Your energy's there, you're feeling good, and nothing can stand in your way. But those bad days are going to determine how much you want to really be happy and fulfilled in your life. So just think about it. I, have had a very interesting past few days. Like last week, boy, have I been tested. My patience has been tested, right? My days weren't the greatest, but it still didn't mean that I didn't, decide to record podcasts. It still didn't mean that I didn't focus on, my blogs. So those bad days sometimes, like, you got to push yourself a little bit to just push, all of that bad negative energy away from you and focus on what you need to do for yourself. Because everything's not going to be perfect. You're going to hit some hurdles. Now, is your battery and motor going to keep you going when you're going through some rough patches? That's something you have to think about and ask yourself. It's important to know yourself and who you are. Because self-awareness, that's the name of the game. And your motor has to be relentless sometimes. Yes, it's good to rest yourself. That means recharging the battery inside of you that's going to push you to greatness. You think that people who are successful don't have a battery that's full and a motor that drives them every day? You think successful people want to do what they want to do every single day? I doubt it. There are days where they're like, I got to do this today, or I got to sit through this meeting today, or I got to deal with this employee today. It happens. It's kind of why I roll solo. I do everything myself. So it's like, if I am annoyed, I'm annoyed at myself. I'm not annoyed at anyone else because I'm not getting things done the way I need to get things done. And sometimes I do need to recharge my battery. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm constantly going. I used to be that way, but the older that I'm getting, the more I'm realizing that certain aspects are important, like my self-care Sundays, making sure that I get my body right so I can continue to do the things that I need to do. It is working out a good 5 to 6 days a week, but making sure that I'm exercising the right way and not overdoing it, right? And, not, lifting hard or way heavier than what I normally would do. So it's those little things. And I need you to stop and think about how important it is to have your motor there that's going to keep you going and it's going to allow you to get you the results and success. Because success comes at a hefty price. And having an innate drive to live out your dreams and how you achieve the results you want. A lot of what you do will be fun, great, and fulfilling. But there will also be things that you don't love to do, but you have to do it to have the success that you want. And I'll use me as a perfect example. I love writing, obviously. I love my podcast. I don't love editing. I do not love editing my books at all. That is the one thing that irks me. It drives me nuts. When it's a standalone, it's like, okay, cool, I can do it. No problem. If it's a book series, I have a headache before I even start. So just imagine this year, I have a 12 book series. So just think, last summer I wrote 12 books within like probably 4 to 5 months, give or take. And I don't write a book and then edit it when it comes to a book series. I write the whole series and then I'll edit it most of the time. It depends. Like early on when I was doing Struggles and Growth and Code Blue and The World We Live In, my intentions really weren't to have 5 book series with those. So they started off as standalones, like Struggles and Growth, Code Blue, The World We Live In. Those were like my first 3 books that I published, I think, from what I can remember. And then they turned into 5 book series. So then I decided, okay, I'm going to write the rest of the Struggles and Growth of a Man series. Then I'm going to write the rest of the Code Blue series. Then I'm going to write the rest of the World We Live In series. But as I started writing it, oh goodness. And then the Kids with Guns series, I wrote that whole series and then edited every single book. So that's just one thing, like I said, drains my battery, having to sit and edit all the stuff that you've written. You know what I mean? And it's not the most fun thing. And that's a prime example of saying, I am not paying someone to edit something that I wrote myself. So I sit and I deal with it and I suck it up and I get it done, right? So think about the things that you don't like doing, but you know you have to do it in order to achieve the results that you want. That's the most important component of all of it. Because after I edit the book, I'm good to go because the book cover is already made. The synopsis is already written. And formatting is just on a website for me. It's a copy paste ordeal. And then I pretty much do EPUB, MOBI, PDF. And then PDF is just a couple of little components that I have to do, like the page numbers on the bottom or the name of the book title and, all of those little intricate things, which, you learn along the way. But hey, I'm being honest, like that's where my motor has to drive me and it has to get me going. And I have to be in an environment where it's good enough for me so I can sit and concentrate and be able to edit and do all the things that I need to do, right? And, you change a couple of things, you tweak a couple of sentences, a couple of chapters, you need to like make look better. That's an example for me of something that I just don't like doing. But hey, I'm 54 books in, and at this point it's like, well, you're already used to it, right? So remember to keep your spirits good, keep your battery charged up and going, and living your life to the best of your ability. Because this life journey it's always about growth, love, passion, happiness, and staying disciplined. And consistency and discipline in what you're doing, no matter what it is the most important components. You're not always going to be motivated, and you're not always going to have all of this energy, but just make sure that when that energy is not there, that you're recharging your battery. And at the end of the day, don't doubt yourself. Don't question yourself. Don't worry about all of the voices in your head. And that's something that I am going to be talking about in the near future, about that part, that fear of failure that's crossing your mind. I don't want you guys going through that. I don't want you guys thinking about that. I just want you guys to do the work, have fun, enjoy it, and know that as long as your battery is charged and good, your motor is going to push you. It's going to drive you. It's going to keep you inspired, and you're going to achieve great results. Get that in your mind, okay? That's what I want you to do. That's what I want you to think about, and that's all I want you to focus on. All right, y'all. With that said, I hope this podcast was very helpful for you. I hope that utilizing my examples of, certain things that I do and have to deal with within myself on a daily basis will help you along the way. Podcast website, theaquariummindpodcast.com. The website is it's great. It's intuitive. You guys can listen to my podcast there if you want. But like I said, if you're on the platform already, you're doing your thing on that platform, great. Stay there. Thank you for listening to my podcast today. I appreciate you greatly. Be good and go accomplish your goals.